Hey everybody, it's your boy VG Time back again with another deck profile. This one is going over the Fennec leader, who is a very interesting leader that I'm choosing to look at right now. The core idea of this deck actually came from my boy the Galagoon, who I will leave a link for his YouTube channel down in the description for the video, so that way you can check him out. But Fennec is played by the beautiful and lovely Ming Na Wen, which is the reason why the deck is called Ming Na Wen, as a ploy on her name. But literally, this woman's fine. Anyway, the idea of Fennec is that you are going to be able to use her ability to ambush units with cost four or less from your hand while paying this cost. On the front side, you have to pay one extra in order for you to be able to do that. But once she's deployed on 5, you'll be able to do it for free once per turn. Now, my only issue with this leader is that once she is deployed, her stat line is super fraudulent at 4/4. Unless you do something, pretty substantial, she dies to a lot of things. So the most you're going to be able to do is flip her and then maybe use her ability once. I guess the general idea is that if you're ambushing most of the turns leading up to deploying her, that she would be out there on a clear board. But still, other things hit her like open fire and takedown, which are pretty popular cards. So she's not long for the world, sadly. But take advantage of what you can with her, and then play the game like normal later on. We have Tarkentown as our base of choice because we are playing aggression. And the ability to deal 3 damage to a damaged non-leader unit is pretty strong once per game to help clear off something that maybe you can't deal with your regular units. And let's get into it. So first we want to talk about the units that we would be ambushing. We start off with Greedo. So Greedo is fine as a turn 1 unit to just play. And that's if you're on initiative, like if you have the initiative. But if you are off the initiative, it might actually behoove you to pay 2 and ambush Greedo directly and kill off whatever they played on the first turn. There's also a world where you start with a card like Sabine, who is also a decent ambush card for like turn 2. But let's say you start off with Sabine, if they start off with something else, then you could just, on your following turn, swing Sabine into it. When they play their 3-drop, which is usually a X3 unit, you're going to be able to then ambush Greedo at that point and kill it off. And you never lost your Sabine. So they lost 2 of their units in exchange for one of yours. Another good unit to ambush in if you have initiative is Ardent Sympathizer. He becomes a 5/3. So once you get to your 4th resource, he's clearing anything at 3, he's clearing anything at 4, and he's clearing most things at 5, if not everything at 5 as well. So that is a very powerful card. There's an argument to bring it up to 3, but it's at 2 right now. The argument is that you could bring down one of Mace Windu, but we'll talk about what Mace does later. Rogue Operative is for when you need to deal with shielded units. Is also good against opposing Fennec Shans. Is great against Iden Versio. It also gets you past units that are trying to be hid behind a Sentinel because of its Saboteur ability. K2SO, one of our favorite cards to ambush in. It has Overwhelm and all that good stuff. So even if you can trample over things that already been damaged, and then have it die and deal more damage, that's even better. You just cycle these things through with Fennec Shan's ability. And as far as space, you have a couple of great options. Actually, you have a bunch of great options. So as I mentioned in the beginning, sometimes you start off with Sabine, but sometimes you start off with Greedo or whatever, and they try to dodge you into space. If that happens, you have the ability to ambush Green Squadron on the following turn, assuming that you have initiative, just to clear off their Green Squadron before it has anything to do, or to clear off their Kylo Silencer, or to clear off a bunch of different things. Another card is the Samurai Fang Fighter. It's just good utility to have in your deck in general, since upgrades are going to be a big thing. But the other thing is that you have the ability to ambush this to possibly pop a shield or pop experience on a unit and then kill that unit off, which is very strong as well. The best card to ambush in Starwing Scout, if you have initiative, when this unit is defeated, you draw 2. Before, you would just play this down, your opponent will take initiative from you and then kill it, and you would never get to draw the cards. But with this, if you happen to have initiative, you can just pay for, play this out, ambush it, kill off whatever they have in space, and then draw 2, which is very, very powerful. This is the main thing I stole from Goon, because I thought that was pretty insane. And then we have Strafing Gunship, which has the ability to ambush in space and on ground. And if you happen to ambush it to ground, whatever you swing it into gets -2 attack, which is pretty powerful as well. So, once you get past that, everything else is kind of here for utility purposes or to support your late game. So, one card for utility purpose is Ketsuonyo. You don't really want to ambush this, and you really want to be hitting base, because if it deals damage to a base, you may defeat an upgrade with cost 2 or less. So don't forget experience and shields qualify for this. And also kills off, bounties and things like that, because it doesn't really care who or where the upgrade is at. On top of that, we have Lea Organa to deal with difficult to deal with units, either leaders or big boss monsters. We have Gorilla Attack Pod to help close out the game. And then we get into our late game package. IG-11 is a great 6/5 beater that on attack gets to deal 3 damage to a damaged ground unit, which is able to clean up a lot of things. If you try to capture him, he basically pyroclasms their board for 3 damage. As long as it's on the ground, he basically bombing runs like their that's a better way of saying it. He bombing runs ground units for the enemy. If you try to capture him, we have Infant's Nest. Infant's Nest is kind of a build around card, but the problem with her is that she comes out kind of late. Like if Infant's Nest was like a 5, she would be infinitely better. But as a 6, she's kind of late in the game. But still, we're going to try. Ambush. While a friendly unit, including this one, is attacking using ambush, the defender gets -3 attack. So usually she's killing off something without taking any real damage back. What you have to hope is that she lives with her 4 toughness. And then on top of that, you have to have something to follow her up with, which is easy to do when you look at Fennec Shan. You can follow her up with, on the following turn, any one of your smaller cards that you want to ambush. Another great card to ambush with her after you already played Fennec Shan is Strafing Gunship, so that whatever it swings into gets -5 attack if it's on the ground, and be able to clean it up. There's also the option of playing Mace Windu. So Mace Windu has the ability to restand after it defeats a unit. That is really strong. It ambushes itself, so it'll be able to usually live pretty good. The problem that came up with Mace, though, is that typically when Mace swung into something at that point in the game, he was swinging into something with at least 5 power, and so he would take 5 damage and then get killed off before he could swing again. Now with Infant's Nest, he'll be, taking 2 or 3 less damage, so he might be at 5 toughness, which means they have to put a little bit more effort into getting rid of him. And if they don't, he gets to swing on base for 5, which is pretty strong. We also have Fennec Shan herself. It's between this and Han Solo. They're both very strong cards, but I just wanted to give Fennec Shan herself a chance in the Fennec Shan deck. And then we'll get to the events. Pretty straightforward. We have McClunky. McClunky, on top of just being a decent utility card, allows us to reset things for ambush effects. Like, for instance, you could get in with a Greedo McClunky it back to hand, deal 3 damage to something, and then ambush the Greedo, clear off something else, trigger its ability, and possibly kill off another thing. You could McClunky back strafing gunship to then have an ambush again into something else and kill it. You got options. You could bring back Fennec Shan to re-ambush to kill off something. You got things. Waylay. Waylay is good at resetting opponent's cards as well as resetting your own cards as well if need be. Surprise Strike is just additional damage. Detention Block Rescue is a card I'm willing to try out in his deck because this card's power is dependent about whether or not Capture is a great mechanic. Capture right now seems to be fairly efficient. So with that being said, if it is popular, this card gets way better because it just deals 3 damage if it's just to a unit, which makes it worse than open fire, but it deals 6 to a unit that is guarding a capture unit. Right now, capture is kind of just limited to cunning and command. So if those decks are popular and capture is popping, then this card gets better. And then we do run our own capture card, which is Relentless Pursuit. This one allows you to choose a friendly unit and you get to capture a non-leader unit with the same cost or less. Then if you happen to have a bounty hunter that is capturing, it gains a shield token. That's pretty good. We only have like 1 bounty hunter in the deck that's worth guarding things, which is IG-11. There's nothing else that's really bounty hunter in the deck, at least right now. So yeah, that is basically the deck profile. I have a link for it down in the description as well for the deck planet link. And again, shout out to Gallant Goon for at least putting me down this path to look at this leader and give it a try. So I'll catch you guys again next time, and this is VG Time signing out.